Hello, hello, hello. It's a brand new day, and this is our morning connection. How are you doing this morning? Did you wake up with your game face on today? Did you go to bed last night with a plan of attack, something huge you wanted to accomplish, something that was going to get you ahead in one way, shape, or form, something beyond just getting by? Did you go to bed with that plan? Did you wake up with your game face on? And if not, that's okay. That's what we're here for. Just two men, a little bit older, going through the journey of life, trying to make the most out of the time we have together, the time that we have on this planet. Got to live with that sense of urgency. Got more time behind us than we do in front of us. If you're a little bit older, like me, and you're understanding that it's what you get, what you squeeze out of every single day, how you allocate your willpower, focus, energy, and time. Right? Do you know where you're going? That's what I want to talk about in this morning connection video. When you come on to this live broadcast, make sure that you say, hello, I always want to connect with you. I want to know that you're making this part of your daily ritual, a daily discipline, your habit, right? Two men just comparing notes, getting our minds right to start the day. Now, I know that although it's 3 o'clock in the morning here, Pacific time, here I am in the West Coast, San Francisco Bay Area of the United States, and as we move east in the United States, it gets a little bit later in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. But I know this is an international audience of driven, ambitious men all over the world, so I know it's the afternoon, it's the evening. What you want to do is just make this your habit, your ritual, or you designate the time. Right? I'm going to give you something to think about every single day, maybe several things to think about. And thank you so much for the direct messages, the emails, the comments. When I do this live over on Facebook, and then I download and I upload it to YouTube, the comments over there. All right, I appreciate those comments, keeps me going. I'll tell you this, is that even if I were to do this for one person, I get so much out of this. I talked about this in yesterday's video, is our time together, is that you got to create situations that you have so many ways to win besides the obvious, right? So many ways to win where it's virtually there's no ways to lose. And I'll tell you, when I am forced to step up to get my mind right at the beginning of my day, it's going to help me. It's going to help my family. It's going to help the men who've invested their hope and trust in me with my one-on-one coaching. It's the value I provide to the world, all right? So my family, my students, everyone's going to benefit by me getting my mind right and forcing myself to say, hey, I'm going to do this every single morning at 3 o'clock. I'm going to benefit. All right, you want to set up things where you have so many ways to win and not very many ways to lose. Hey, in this video, I want to talk about what you have planned for your life, right? Is it clear in your mind? All right, is it clear? Would I know? If I knew you, if I observed you from the distance, maybe we worked out in the same gym without even talking to you, would I instinctively know that you've got a plan for your life, and every fiber of your body, every action, every thought that you take in the course of the day is moving you towards some direction? Whether I agreed with it or not, whether I wanted to live that lifestyle, it wouldn't matter. I would have so much respect for you because I know you're a man who is on a mission, a plan, who has vision, imagination, and through good times, bad times, and everything in between. I don't know what you're moving towards specifically, but I know you're moving somewhere. Would I know that? All right, it's not an on or off switch. It's not black or white. It's not 0 to 100 and all that, nice language, all right, the nice memes that's on the internet, right? A lot of times in life, it's not 0 or 100. And knowing that you have more options, you can get better and better and better at it. I just had a gentleman just respond to him on my Facebook page, and he talked about doing one of the exercises that he watched me do, weighted leg lifts for abs on one of my workouts for Older Men Live broadcasts. And he said, hey, I tried that, and I felt it in my I didn't feel it in my core or my abs. I felt it in my hamstrings and hips, and I just said that, the key to any exercise, execution of any exercise, is that mind-muscle connection, right? If you're just trying to move the weight from point A to point B in any exercise, in this case, weighted leg lifts, your body, your mind is going to instinctively always take the path of least resistance. So it will incorporate your hips, it'll incorporate your hamstrings, whatever it takes to get the weight from point A to point B. Well, the purpose of the exercise is to have it designed for one specific target muscle group. And if you use your mind that I am only going to use, in this case, the abs to raise the weight and lower it down, right? That's mind-muscle connection. You won't feel it as much in your hamstrings or hips. There might be some incidental work to help aid it, but the more and more you're connected to, number one, don't just try to move it from point A to point B. Have that targeted muscle group, move the weight. And sometimes we're not conscious of that, or we're somewhat conscious of it. The more and more you can be conscious of it, the better and better you'll become at this mind-muscle connection. It's not an on or off switch. It's not 0 or 100. It's a skill set. It's a mindset. You get mentally and physically better and better and better at doing it. Right? Well, that's how it is in a lot of things in life. It's not on or off, right? You're going to get better and better and better at it. Don't cut yourself short. Well, I don't do that very well. I only do it so well. No, keep on going. And when I talk about, are you clear for your vision in life? Would it be so apparent to me, right? It's not black or white, 0 to 100. You can get better and better and better. You think about it more and more. The more times you think about anything, the more you break it down, the more you have discussions. You take it apart from different angles, the more discussions you had. Even though you've talked about it already, you break it down layer by layer by layer, more and more distinctions get better and better at. So I want to talk about that when it comes to you. I want to take a thought experience, a thought experiment, a thought experience. I want you to maybe shift around what I'm talking about, your life, where you're going, by posing a question to you. All right, so let me just check in, see who is joining us real quickly, and then I want to get into today's message. All right. Pete, good morning, sir. Lewis, good morning. And Lewis, it was your question that I answered about that mind-muscle connection. Thank you for asking that question. Kind of ties in with today's message and directly and indirectly answers your question. I appreciate the inspiration. Good morning, Razik. Good to have you here. Musashi, good to have you here too. And I see Paul is here. All right, guys. All right, so again, what motivates me, what inspires me to come to you with a message, I just let it kind of flow through me. It's like, what value can I provide to you? From my life experience, my current experience. Well, I just had a coaching call with a gentleman from Australia. I had that, at 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Actually, it was 1:30 in the morning is when I started the coaching call with him every single week. This gentleman has been with me for 4 years, right? So I know his whole story. I know his hopes and dreams. I know his values with his life, right? We've had so many conversations. Well, the question was asked, and again, I know what his master plan is and the things that he's working towards. But one in high, very skilled professional, great job, very accomplished at what he does, high position. But there's always a higher and higher level. All right, you can continue to go up the corporate ladder, right? And so. Great guy, obviously, smart enough to get this one-on-one coaching, looking for that distinction every single week, right? So I guess it should go without saying that he's a smart guy, right? But the question is with all of his talent, people respect him. He's earned that. He's just a great guy, hard worker. But the boss at his job said, "Where are you going? What do you want? What do you want down the road?" So he saw all of his great qualities, all of his intelligence, all his potential. And so he was about ready to answer that. And his boss said, think about that. Don't answer that question now. And and I'm always listening. I'm taking away from it, and I take what I can get out of it, how I process, what meaning I can take it of everything I observe. And I'm sure you're the same way too if you like this type of personal development. And what I said is that, what I took about it for me is like you watching just a few of these morning connection videos, where my thoughts are directed, the workouts for Old Men Live, how I appear on whatever social media platform that you're watching me, or whichever ones you watch, all right? What I post, what I do. Would you know or have a really good idea? Would you even have to ask me, Skip, what's the vision for your life? Why are you doing all this? What are you working towards? All right, think about that. Would you be able to answer that? And again, and things aren't 0 to 100, right? But would you have a really good idea? I know where this guy shows up. He bounces from, he does one video, then he's off to the gym. He does this. I can tell by his cheekbones how lean he is, what he talks about, the pictures with his family, what he's dealing with. I don't even have to ask him what the vision is for his life. And if I wasn't quite sure, and if he told me, I go, of course, everything I've observed you seeing you do and what you talked about, Skip, is leaning that direction. He didn't even have to tell me. I'm glad he did. It makes it perfectly clear what you do. Every fiber, every thought, every action you take towards the day was leading to that. You really didn't have to tell me, because I could just tell. So the question would be to you, right? And again, it's not 0 to 100. If someone by their nature has to ask you, hey, what's the vision? How is this all going to end? What's your legacy? What are you working so hard for? Why are your thoughts going in that direction? Would they even have to ask you? Because if they have to ask you, it must not be that clear. All right? So think about that with you. And it reminds me of an exercise, what I talk about, with my wife. We talk about this, what lessons that we've learned through life that we can teach our children. And I use the metaphor, walking across the room with intent, right? You don't walk from one side of the room and then say, okay, well, why I've been walking at whatever pace to this other side of the room. Okay, now that I'm here, okay, oh yeah, this is what I was going to do, this is what I was going to say. I mean, let's just say you have to walk 20 feet, 30 feet from the other side of the room. Would the other person know that you're walking with intent? You already know what you're going to say. You're certainly thinking about what you say. You're walking at a pace you're not just walking through life, you're getting to the other side because you've got an agenda, you've got an outcome, you've got value to create for the other person. You know why you're walking to that other side. It's just a matter of time you getting there, and you can see the conviction, the commitment, every step while you're walking across that 30-foot room. They see it in your eyes. They see it in your movement, your seriousness, your passion, all right? Your joy, your happiness, whatever, your anticipation. Are you walking across the room metaphorically of your life with intent? Well, people say, where's he going? He's got a place to go and he's going to kill it. I just know it or die trying, right? If I asked you, if you had a friend who knows you and they ask you, hey, where are you going with all this? Right? What's the purpose? Would they even have to ask you that? And if they did ask you that, would you have an answer? And if you answer, they would say, of course. Now that I think back, I've observed you the last 6 months. Everything you talked about and everything you did was leading there. Of course, that's what you want. I'm curious. A lot of guys ask me, man, how do you get up in the morning so early? You're always there. You're always going at it, right? That's because, I have a vision. And just like that mind-muscle connection, I can get more and more clear. And today's conversation, for me, made me think, how much more clear can I get? Because the more clear that people get out of his way, or we want to come along with it. He knows where he's going. When you know where you want to go in life, not everybody, but the people that's important to, they're going to want to come along, right? Just for the energy, just for the excitement. There's a saying that, when a man knows where he's going, there's plenty of people who want to come along with him. All right, so I hope you're getting a lot of value. I know I got a lot of value out of that. All right, guys, so that is going to do it. Let me just check in with you one more time. I want to acknowledge you for being such a smart man who knows what he wants, who's looking for distinctions to help him get to that other side of the room, to get what he wants in life. They would say, yeah, I listen to this morning connection every single morning. This guy shows up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I check in every single day because it's helping me get to what I want. Everything I do over the course of the day is congruent. It flows. It all makes sense of where you're going. That's what I want for you guys today to think about. All right, so that's going to do it for today's morning connection. Remember, we got more time behind us than we do in front of us. If you're a little bit older, got to seize the day with that sense of urgency. All right, so hey, expect the best out of yourself today. Expect the best out of your efforts. You know, they will pay off eventually. Expect the best from other people. They'll do their part when you find a way to create that value for them. So have a great day.